Afternoon. My name is Ralph Holder. I reside in the state of New Hampshire. In 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled that court-ordered racial segregation in education was unconstitutional. Congress solidified that ruling in 1964 when it passed Title IV of the Civil Rights Act. Unfortunately, in the state of New Hampshire, that doesn't apply. I went through a divorce in 2003 and had a court-appointed guardian ad litem who recommended to the court that my son would be too lonely being the only black in the local New Hampshire town where he was born and raised since birth, and that he could learn more about his race, culture, and heritage going to school in Haverhill, Massachusetts. The unfortunate reality of the school system and what the guardian ad litem was supposed to be investigating was that the school was racially imbalanced under Massachusetts law because of its high minority student enrollment. It was also in a high poverty area. It is also listed as one of the persistent failing schools in the Commonwealth and one of the 29th worst. Most of the students in the school were either limited English speaking or did not speak English at all. I addressed this particular situation. Would first tried to contact my then Congressman Jeb Bradley. I also contacted U.S. Senator Judd Gregg and Bradley's successor, Carol Shea-Porter, to ask for intervention from the U.S. Justice Department under Section 407 of the Civil Rights Act to pursue damages against the state of New Hampshire. They refused to help me. I even went to the governor, John Lynch, and he refused to do anything for me. I spent nearly 27 years in the criminal justice system. I earned my undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in criminal justice, and I currently am a justice of the peace and have been since 2002, even before my divorce was finalized. What these officials did was criminal, and I demanded accountability by the system, and all I've gotten was stonewall. Because I persistently spoke out, the state and other officials conspired to have me arrested under the charge of criminally threatening the very same people that I was filing complaints to. These people had disciplinary authority and civil rights enforcement authority, yet they refused to help me and then turned on me because I was persistent in my demands. I prevailed in the criminal trial. The judge ruled there was no crime, there was no threat, and that the state failed to even meet any of the elements of the crime they charged me with. I have documented evidence of my claim. Anyone wish to contact me, just simply respond to YouTube, and I can provide such information upon request. I'm asking the civil rights activists and leaders in this nation to express some outrage, look into this particular case, find out why it's happening, and hopefully help do something to resolve this issue. This should have never happened in this day and age, and I refuse to stand by idly while they harmed my son. He was harmed emotionally, physically, and educationally. They put him in a high crime area plagued by gangs, drugs, and shootings when he was living in a very quiet middle-class neighborhood in New Hampshire. How they could justify their actions and the fact that none of these people have ever been held accountable is beyond me. This implicates Governor Lynch. It implicates the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the New Hampshire Supreme Court because they simply affirmed the decision of the lower court without even giving an opinion as to why they affirmed it. I've got custody of my son. I had to use the very same evidence that was readily available to the guardian ad litem at the time of her custody evaluation to prove my case that it was not in the best interest of my son. The unfortunate reality is it was a protracted battle and it took me 2 years to get him out of the system. He was hurt educationally, emotionally, and I said placed at risk physically. Something needs to be done. I'm continuing to fight on my end. I'm hoping to hear some voices of outrage expressed in the public. Thank you.